Hey guys, this is Anna Harris. So the first thing I just wanted to talk about is how nice it was to be around in person, my classmates and the instructors. I think definitely in an online environment you get a little bit disconnected from the actual program itself. The fact that there is a physical campus and that everybody is going through the same thing. So it was just really encouraging, I think, to be around the rest of the classmates and to just be able to talk about kind of where we're at in life and what our goals are, and again, just be around kind of like-minded people going through the same events in life. And then of course it's just super enjoyable to be able to meet our professors. Again, there's just something about the online environment, even with all of the new technology that's out there, it still can feel a little distant, and probably the fact that I'm across the country, that probably doesn't help either. But it was just really nice to be able to put actual faces to the names of the professors that I've been working with, and also just to be able to see your personalities. And I was able to have a really good conversation with Professor Murphy about kind of how she got into the program at Drexel after she had gotten her degree, and kind of her experiences doing that, which I thought was just really uplifting and encouraging for possible future career goals. So as far as a reflection on the program itself, or the online campus intensive experience, so I guess the topic of my reflection is really about control. This is something that I have known for an extremely long time, has been an issue of mine. I'm a control freak, if you will, a little bit type A. So basically this is all kind of centering around getting together in the group for the creation of our own simulation experience. So the first thing I just kind of wanted to talk about was working in a group, in that kind of a group setting, and the challenges that I experienced with that and what I actually learned from it. It's kind of unique. We were putting together 5 strong personalities in an extremely short period of time, and trying to mix together all of our different backgrounds to come up with something that would be useful and could be applied really quickly. And I definitely think that there were some challenges inherent in that. One of the things I think I already knew about myself, but it just kind of solidified, is that I really, really, really appreciate structure. And so for me, I wanted to have everything listed out exactly. This is exactly who's going to be doing what at what times. If we've made it 2 minutes into the presentation or into the simulation and they haven't figured out this piece, then we'll go ahead and cue them, etc., etc. I wanted it very laid out, pretty much in a written document, saying at this moment we're going to be doing these things. And some of my fellow teammates weren't as rigid about things. They were more go with the flow and said, oh, we'll just figure it out as it goes. Someone who was going to be the actor, if you will, in the scene was just, didn't really want to specify totally her role, just wanted to be able to get out there and do what she felt was appropriate for the scene. And I think there is definitely benefits of both. Both the control freak personality that I have, and also that go with the flow kind of mentality. I do think that when I'm able to be a little bit more in control, when this is actually my classroom, or there's only a few of us working together on a project, I do hope to make it just a little bit more structured. And I think also it was really enjoyable to talk to the actors that were there, that we could talk to for a little bit, because they were giving us a lot of insight of like, well, we were doing a scenario that involved alcohol, and they were saying, well, they're gonna end up asking us these questions about it. What do you guys want us to say? So knowing that, especially with the actors, if you've got a non-medical professional that's going to be fulfilling one of the roles in your simulation, that it's pretty important to make sure you're really precise in what you give them for information, and then also precise in what areas you give them control to kind of take over and do what they feel is appropriate in the scenario. But of course, knowing that they have to hit those main points during that too. So I guess the big thing that I really kind of took from that section of it is, I don't think it hurts to try to be a little bit structured in things, but also to be aware that, of course, there's always going to be different personalities that you have to work with, and then just finding the places where it's totally appropriate to give and not need to have everything so structured, and times two where it's important to probably to be a little bit more assertive and say, nah, we really need to lay this out a little bit better, because this is one of those moments that we just can't have it go awry for the student's sake. So I guess I took some learning stuff, and then also feeling some confidence that it's okay to stand up for myself in certain areas. So then the other section of this whole simulation thing was, and that has a lot to do with control, is what happens when the technology doesn't go the way that you planned. That is a huge fear of mine, because again, as somebody who really likes control and for things to go smoothly and like to be as prepared as possible for things, I can only imagine it would be extremely difficult to be completely prepared for something that includes visual stuff, visual presentations, or the simulation itself isn't working the way that it's supposed to. And what do I do? I think for me, I think that I learned through this as well, though, that I would want to have a solid backup plan. Again, I'm learning. I just am not always the best go with the flow kind of person. Think on my feet always. And so I think that for me, it would be helpful to have a ready backup plan. If I'm going to do a PowerPoint presentation, to have either to tell the students ahead of time to print out all copies of it, or to print out copies myself to hand out just in case technology fails. Or in this situation with the simulation, to have a backup plan, to maybe be able to wing it with the staff that I have on hand, to be able to kind of do a faux scenario, or even just to be able to get a room where we can talk through what the scenario was like and how they would react to it. I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that might have to require some trial and error too, in whatever setting I end up teaching. But just knowing that, of course, technology is not always going to be as reliable as we'd like it to be, and to kind of come up with ways for myself to feel confident that if technology fails, that I will have an option or an idea of how to go through with it. So those were kind of my takeaways. Is always the issue that I deal with is trying to control to stop controlling, or to figure out where I can let certain things go, but also for my own sanity, ways that I can be as prepared as possible, even for the scenarios that are where the technology or something doesn't work, so that I will not be feeling the stress. All right, thanks.